There's a little nursery rhyme I bet you recognize. It starts like this.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
If you are a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa or anyone who ever loved a child, perhaps you sang those words to someone when they were little. How I wonder what you are. Many of us, if not most of us, have looked into the eyes of a child and wondered who they would be, what their life would be like, how that little light would shine. And whether you named it or not, the light that you saw twinkling in the eyes of that child was the most amazing light of all. You see, God too looked into the eyes of that same child and whispered these same words from today's first reading into the ear of that child. I set you as a light to the nations. I set you, my child, as a light to the nations. That is the light you saw twinkle in the eyes of your child. That light that you sensed in them was no less than the light of God, who made a home in that child for this world. That light. I hope that someone saw that light in your eyes as well. And maybe when you were an infant, someone sang to you, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." But whether or not they ever sang that song, I am sure someone saw that twinkle in your eyes and wondered who you would be, what your life would be like, how your light would shine. For that same light burns in you and in me for this world. On the Feast of the Epiphany, we heard the story of the Magi, those seekers of the light, and were reminded that it is our call to be people who seek the light. And on this feast of the baptism of the Lord, we are reminded that it is also our call to be bearers of the light, people who carry that light to the world. When you and I were baptized, a candle was lit from the Easter candle, and it was handed to our moms and dads, or if we were old enough, it was handed directly to us. And these were the words that came with it. You have been enlightened by Christ. Walk always as a child of the light. Keep the flame of faith alive in your heart. We each carry some of the light this world so desperately needs. And what does it look like when we do so? Perhaps, especially when we are young, many of us think that the way that our light will shine in this world is this. Some kind of flash for the world. Oh, The world will recognize my videos which have gone viral. Or you just watch. You're going to be reading about me on the sports page. Or I'm going to start a band and it won't be long and we're going to be filling stadiums with adoring fans. Or whatever. Who knows? Maybe you will be a flash who shines in a blaze of glory. Whether or not you do, personally, doesn't really matter to me that much. I mean, not that it would be bad, but simply because there is something much more important than that. You might not know this, but there are more verses to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The verses you might not know speak of the purpose of that twinkling light.
When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night. When the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark, how could he see where you go if you did not twinkle so? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Twinkle on, please, little star. You know, what matters is that you shine for others. It's not the flash. What lasts is something much more humble, like this flame. Now, certainly we can be both. There are plenty of wealthy and famous people who use their platform and their leverage to make this world a better place. But this is what matters. Just as the stars in the sky twinkle to guide the way of the traveler, what matters is that we share the goodness in us for others. God sets us as a light for the nations. Personally, I have seen the light of God. It has never been for me something dramatic, the sun spinning in the sky or any kind of a flash. The light of God that I have seen is the quiet flame of love made real in the lives of so many good people. You've seen it too. People whose goodness is so humble and faithful. They inspire me all the time. You know, people who, they don't call attention to themselves, but they go about humbly caring for others, quietly bringing peace, generously feeding the hungry, faithfully just doing what is needed for love. And whether or not you or I ever blaze for a while as a flash, what matters is that people can see in our eyes, that people can see in our lives the very goodness that God put in us for this world. Maybe someday you will sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star again, or for the first time, to a little one. And if you do, I hope you remember that there are other verses. I hope it reminds you that it's just not all about the flash. No. It usually looks like this.
As your bright and tiny spark lights the traveler in the dark. Though I know not what you are, twinkle